Welcome to Class 9 Biology. Let's talk about cell organelles. Cell organelles are the parts of a cell. Cytoplasm is the jelly-like substance which is present within the plasma membrane and it holds all the cell organelles. Most of the cells have plasma membrane as the only covering of the cell, but there are some cells which have an additional protective covering called the cell wall. Here you can see we have a typical plant cell, and above the plasma membrane you can see we have an external covering called the cell wall. Now in plant cells, the cell wall is composed of a substance called cellulose, which is actually a complex sugar which is made up by repeating units of starch. Starch is a complex molecule of glucose, and many starch units combine to form a polymer called the cellulose, which is the composition of the cell wall in plants. So ultimately the cellulose is a complex sugar which makes up the cell wall in all plants. Other than plants, the cell wall can also be found in other organisms like the bacteria, fungi and algae. Now let's start discussing about the most important cell organelle, that is the nucleus. Now in this figure you can see the structure of a nucleus. You can see the outer covering of the nucleus, which is the nuclear membrane. It is a double layered membrane. In the nuclear membrane you can see many small holes called the nuclear pore. The nuclear pore allows the nucleoplasm to communicate with the cytoplasm which is present outside the nucleus. Now the nucleoplasm is a jelly-like substance similar to the cytoplasm which is present within the nucleus. That means it is like the cytoplasm, but since it is present inside the nuclear membrane, it is called the nucleoplasm. Now here you can see a very dark colored rounded substance which is called the nucleolus. Now this nucleolus is made up of RNA. It is a type of macromolecule like the DNA which is present inside the nucleus, and proteins. So nucleolus is made up of RNA and proteins, and the nucleolus is very important for the formation of a cell organelle called the ribosomes. Ribosomes are cell organelles which are responsible for protein synthesis inside a cell. Now further you can see there are many entangled thread-like structures called the chromatin, and also you can see rod-like structures called the chromosome. Now this chromatin is made up of another macromolecule like the RNA called the DNA. So chromatin is made up of a macromolecule, DNA and proteins. Now this chromatin remains in the nucleoplasm like a thread-like structures, but when the cell is about to divide, that means when the cell is undergoing cell division, before the cell divides, before the process of the cell division starts, this chromatin condenses and forms the rod-like structure called the chromosome. So the chromosome forms from the chromatin when the cell has to undergo cell division. Usually inside a cell you will never find chromatin and chromosomes together, but I have drawn this so that it is easy for me to explain that the chromosome and the chromatin are nothing but the same thing, but found when the cell is about to divide. So here you can see a detailed structure of the chromosome. Now if I detangle the chromosome, if I remove the material of the chromosome, you will find long thread-like structures called the DNA. Now this DNA is the material of the chromosome. Like our clothes can be made up of cotton, silk. So silk forms the material of our clothes that we wear, or the cotton. Similarly, the DNA forms the material of the chromosome. The chromosomes are made up of DNA. Alright. Now this DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. It is the full form of DNA, and it is the genetic material of almost all living organisms on earth. Now, genetic material means it is responsible for carrying the heredity. Heredity means the characteristics of parents to the children. So, the DNA is very important molecule in our cells as it is responsible for carrying the characteristics of the parents to the children. So, it forms the genetic material because it carries our genes. Now, what is a gene? A gene is the functional unit of the DNA molecule. A segment of the DNA molecule which is responsible for characteristic formation is called the gene. Like suppose here in the figure I have shown you a segment of the DNA molecule. I have shown here. Now suppose if this gene is responsible for the formation of the eye color in an organism, in an animal, say a human being, this gene is responsible for the formation of the black color of the eye. So this particular segment of the DNA is called the gene because this segment of the DNA is responsible for the formation of the eye color. So in this way, many such segments of DNA are responsible for formation of different characteristics of a body, and all such segments of the DNA molecule are known as genes. So let us sum up here. The gene is a segment of the DNA that is responsible for the formation of characteristics in organism. Genes are also called units of heredity which are transferred from parents to the children at the time of reproduction. And the nucleus controls all the functions of a cell, so it is also called the brain of the cell. Now let us discuss the types of cells on the basis of nucleus they possess. Organisms can either be prokaryotic or eukaryotic depending upon the type of nucleus the cell possesses. Now one type of organisms are called prokaryotes, the ones which possess the primitive cells. The ones who have the modern day nucleus or cells are called the eukaryotes. Prokaryotic organisms have a very poorly defined nucleus. Why? Because their genetic material, which is either DNA or RNA, is not covered by the nuclear membrane. Whereas in eukaryotic cell, the nucleus is very well defined. That means it has the nuclear membrane to cover the genetic material, which is always the DNA, never RNA. Only prokaryotes can have RNA as the genetic material. Now coming to the third point of difference, prokaryotic organisms always possess a single chromosome. That is, they will never have more than one chromosome. Eukaryotic organisms will have always too many chromosomes in their cells. The number of chromosomes varies with the type of organism. Different organisms will have different number of chromosomes. For example, human beings have 46 chromosomes. The number 46 is unique to human beings only. The prokaryotic organisms, that is the prokaryotes, will never have any membrane bound cell organelle. Now what are the membrane bound cell organelles? The membrane bound cell organelles are like mitochondria, Golgi body, chloroplasts, lysosomes. These all are membrane bound cell organelles. So none of the membrane bound cell organelles will be present in the prokaryotes, whereas eukaryotes will have all the membrane bound cell organelles. Now examples of the prokaryotes, let's discuss. All bacteria and blue-green algae are prokaryotes. Blue-green algae is also commonly called the cyanobacteria. Now let's see the examples of eukaryotes. All plants, all animals, all types of fungus, and all protista. Protista is a group of organisms. We all have studied about amoeba, paramecium. Now amoeba and paramecium are examples of the group of organisms which are called protista. Now here we have a figure of a prokaryotic cell. Now this prokaryotic cell, very well you can see in the figure that they have the cytoplasm. This is the cytoplasm. Then they have the cell wall, which is the outermost covering in all prokaryotic cells. Then within the cell wall they have the plasma membrane or the cell membrane. And then you can see this figure over here, which is the nucleoid. The nucleoid is the region of the cytoplasm which contains the genetic material of the prokaryotic cell. Now prokaryotic cell does not have the nuclear membrane to hold its chromosome, which holds the genetic material. Whereas in the eukaryotic cell you can see that they have the cell wall, the cell membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm with membrane bound cell organelles are very clearly visible under the eukaryotic cell.